Hi everybody. So this is going to be more of a serious video today. Obviously, our current climate is very, very intense and a lot to process. But I feel like as a person who lives in the United States of America, it is my responsibility to be able to stand up for something I believe in, and that includes the current new leg of the Black Lives Matter movement. And in saying that, today I am going to a Black Lives Matter protest. It's going to be happening in our downtown area, and I'm a little nervous only because obviously, like a lot of us, I've seen so many footage of different protests and how they've gone wrong, but we had one not that terribly long ago here in Missouri where I live, and it was rather peaceful. The only bad thing that happened is that one of our main roads got shut down and a couple businesses had to close just to be safe, but other than that, nothing terrible happened. It was very peaceful, and this time it was really well organized. The police already know that we're going to be there. They're anticipating a lot of people showing up. I think if I remember seeing it online that this was going to have at least 600, if not more than, 2,000 people, which is crazy, and I've never been to anything that big before as far as like a protest, because I went to a anti-Trump protest 4 years ago, right after he got elected, and that was not, it was big, but it was not terribly big. So this is going to be very interesting, and it's a lot. So I'm nervous, but I feel like I have to do this. I want to support this movement because it does mean a lot for many of us. Yes, I am a white woman, but I want to show my support for our local black community as well as the black community in general. I want to show my support for people who want their voices to be heard because they deserve to have their voices be heard. So I'm actually about to head out right now. I actually have a mask. I'm wearing it all day today because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and I want to try to keep myself healthy. I've got water, I've got food, I've got, I'm just trying to stay as prepared as I can be. So yeah, I will try to record some stuff at the protest, but I won't bring my camera just in case. I'm just going to record from my phone while I'm there, and then when I come back home, I'll do a little outro, and then I'll be back on my camera. So I will see you guys at the protest, and then after that, I will see you back here at home.
I step on the front line of dealing with my community because I'm angry at the lack of inclusion. I'm angry at the lack of equality. And I'm angry at the way they treat some of our community members. I'm angry at the lack of accountability. I know y'all hot right now. I'm hot, and I'm still out here doing it in your own campground.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Justice! No peace! No 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 justice! No peace!
Are you angry?
Yes!
Are you ready for change?
Yes!
Are you ready to create change?
Yes!
Hands up!
Don't shoot!
Hands up!
Don't shoot!
What do?
Black Lives Matter! No peace! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! George Floyd! Breonna Taylor! Nothing!
I see a lot of them out here today. just like just now, they were trying to protest, and obviously people were angry, but my main and top priority is making sure everybody is safe, because that's all I care about. I care about everybody, and I care about you people. And that's the only way we're going to be able to change people's minds, is through love. When they bring hate, you show them love. You don't give hate back, because that's not the way to fight fire. We're not fighting fire with fire. We're trying to use something else besides fire, and that's love and unity. And that's what I see here today. That's gathered.
Okay, everybody, I am back. It's actually been a couple of hours since I've been back. The protest went really, really well. From the footage, there was a ton of people there. I've literally never seen so many people doing a protest in our area before. It's truly, truly incredible to see that many people care about the same issues. The only problem we did have, and I didn't really get on camera, if I have a good photo, I will post it, I will put it somewhere here. There were some religious protesters or anti-protesters who were trying to kind of affect or derail our progress, and honestly, it probably would have escalated badly, but we had an amazing group of volunteer security people who were keeping their eyes out, telling people, instead of escalating the situation, for us to take a knee and for us to kneel instead of, making fights happen or anything like that. I did remember seeing some police kind of rush to see what was going on. Some sort of altercation happened. I was too far away, but one of the anti-protesters actually got arrested. But none of us who were actually at the protest were arrested or anything like that. And the reason I know this is because I actually talked to one of the security people who happened to be someone I knew, and that's what she told me. She told me basically that someone on the other side had gotten arrested. No one at the protest got arrested, and it was amazing for us to say our message and be profound, and for it to not escalate to violence. And like one of the people who were talking, basically saying, don't fight fire with fire. We need to, stand up for what we believe in a way that people are going to understand it, and that's not going to be through violence, because that's going to be the main distraction. So for us to just, chant, sing, I think there was some music playing, and just being there and standing up for what we want to fight for, that is all the more amazing for what we're doing here. I'm just happy that I actually did this. I was very, very uncomfortable only because it was hot. Missouri in the summertime, it's intense. It was about 90 degrees outside, and it was midday, and literally like 80, 90 degree weather here in Missouri. It's like you might as well be in a sauna. It gets that hot. And I pray to God that when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not completely covered in sunburns, because I did not have a ton of sunscreen on. Thank God this one lady who was there, she had a little fan, giving everybody like more fresh breezes of air, and then she was also spraying people with sunscreen if they needed it. And I asked him, like, could you spray my arms, because I didn't get my arms sprayed. I had a little on my neck, but she did my arm, she did the back of my neck, she did like the side of my neck and a little bit of my face, but most of my face was covered in a mask. So there was that. But that lady was so sweet. And also everyone who was there was really, really nice. Really, they had tents. You probably could see some of them in the actual video, but there was free water, there was first aid area if you needed first aid. People were giving out masks and hand sanitizer. There was also a place where people could register to vote, and that was really amazing, because honestly, how we're going to really make change happen, obviously doing the protesting, doing stuff on social media, and just spreading the message, that's all great. It really is. But we also need to change our local governments. That is going to be the real way we're going to make change. And hopefully for us to make better laws, we're going to need some change in our local legislation. So it's so important right now. And honestly, and I was saying this to my dad yesterday, like, it's weird that this is happening right now, but maybe it'll get more motivation for people to go out and vote. It is an election year. It's not just about the presidential election in November this year. It is also all the primaries, voting in your governors, voting in your House of Representatives, all of our local governments. Those are so important right now. And for sure, when Missouri gets their primaries, I will be there, but I think ours got postponed. I'm not entirely aware. I just know they're not happening in June like a lot of other states are doing, so I'll have to wait and see on that. But honestly, I'm so happy that I went. I was so happy that I was, fighting for a cause that I do believe in, and that is justice and equality for everybody. As someone who is a woman who is bisexual, part of LGBTQ+, equality means so much. And yes, I'm white, so I can't really speak on necessarily the race equality because I'm not a POC, I'm not a person of color. But that doesn't mean that I can't be an ally and stand up for them to be considered equal and for them to not have to fear or not be filled with fear when they leave their homes, because that's terrible. I can't imagine what it's like to have to live in that fear. So it is my responsibility as an ally to, stand up with them and show that we are with them, we are with you, and we want to take that stigma and that fear away from you. You should not have to leave your homes in a sense of fear. That's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for justice, obviously for the many, many names of those who had died before their time or for no good reason. But we're also trying to fight for equality. We don't want all of these things to divide us anymore. There are some people that want to keep us divided because it's better for them, but we want equality. We want to be considered as human beings above everything else. And that's the way I have been raised. I was raised to never judge a person by their skin color, by their sexual orientation, their gender, their age, none of that. You judge a person on who they are as an individual. What are their actions? Who are they? Those are the things you should judge people on, not by any of the exterior stuff, because that'll only cloud your judgment and your perception of probably good people. So that is why I am fighting for Black Lives Matter. And truly, Black Lives Matter does mean everyone, but for right now, given the aftermath of the George Floyd situation, it is so important that we fight for our Black communities, both local and across the country, because they really need our help. And they are fighting, they are willing to put their lives and their freedom on the line to do this. So why can't we? My mom, when I was telling her about this, she was a little concerned that I was going to be outside during coronavirus. We are still in a pandemic. And obviously that is still a concern for us to be protesting together in a large group, and we can't really social distance because there's so many of us. But I was trying to stay safe. I was wearing a mask the entire time. I had hand sanitizer with me. I was trying not to touch people as best as I could. But I was trying to be as careful and as smart as I could be and as hygienic as I could be given the situation. But the thing was, I told this to my mom. I am willing to put myself at risk of catching coronavirus if it means that I'm fighting for something that has to be done and something that I believe in. Obviously, I don't want to get sick, nor do I want people I care about or people that I'm around to get sick. Because I have had people I know that have had coronavirus, and it's scary. But I always saw it as it is a sacrifice I'm willing to take for me to get sick, for me to stand up for Black Lives Matter, and to stand up for those people who really need to be heard right now. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm glad I did it. And when I look back on this vlog, and when I look back at me doing this, however many years in the future, I'm going to be so grateful that I did. And I get to tell my kids that, and even my grandkids, that I fought for something that was important. I stood up for people who needed to be stood up for. And that means the world to me. And I will say 2020 is going to go down in history. We are going through a crazy pandemic with COVID-19 coronavirus, and we're also going through a social change, and hopefully a great social change, one that actually makes things better for our futures. So I'm happy with how I have been handling these first 6 months of 2020. It is still crazy to think it's only been the first 6 months, and we still have 6 more to go for this year, and then we have all the years after that. And hopefully everything we're doing today in the present, it'll affect our futures for the better. So before I end the vlog, just remember, Black Lives Matter. I will have some links down below in the description if you want to donate to a certain cause. I'll have a different range of them. Ones that focus on Black Lives Matter, on LGBTQ+, because we are in June, which is Pride Month. Especially right now, support your people of color, LGBTQ+ communities, because they're going through a lot as well during these times. I will also have a link to the Trevor Project. If you are feeling frustrated or depressed and you need someone to talk to, Trevor Project has some great hotlines for you to talk to. Get your frustrations out. You know, make sure that you are keeping yourself sane during these crazy, crazy times. I understand how hard it is and how much all of these things in the world happening around us make us feel like we're helpless, or that, you know, we're angry or we're sad. But talking about it is a great place to clear your head so that you can have a good mind to go in and help other people. Helping ourselves and taking pride in ourselves is also a good thing to happen right now during these times. So go ahead and check out any of those descriptions down below. Like I said, Black Lives Matter, and hopefully what we do today can help us in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye. Mwah.